Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the One Piece podcast, Brinks' Brew Broadcasting. I am Steve. Brinks' Brew. Burr. I was actually proud of myself for having probably the most professional the most professional podcast intro I'd ever had, and then I went brr.
I know. I was like, look at you, and then brr.
Yeah, that was bad. Welcome back. I'm Steve. This is who are you?
This is Sarah.
And this is Binks' Brew. So, as tradition for this third episode, we're kind of finally getting to the threshold where there's kind of a tradition routine set up, so we don't have to be so awkward about this. Quote of the week.
Shit. Okay. Yeah. You were like, oh my god, we do have a tradition, and then I forgot about it.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll give you the whole podcast to think about it, and you can put it in at the end. You can put it in at the end. Let's do that.
All right. I will give me the whole time of recording to Google quote.
Absolutely. Well, we're really glad to be here, and we're excited as always for some Binks' Brew. But first, let's go ahead and segue, since we don't have a quote of the week to discuss. Let's go ahead. It is fine. Hey, I do it I'm gonna do it a lot more than you are. I guarantee it. Let's go ahead and segue into One Piece news and watch through updates. Who do you think it was?
Nami.
Nope.
Who was it?
It was Sanji.
It's always Sanji.
I picked
Sanji last week.
No, I didn't. I did
no,
Law and Chopper.
You did Law. You're right.
Did Law and Chopper. This week was Sanji. As far as news goes, I couldn't find anything of note. Again, chapter 1060. I can't talk about it because she's not there, but it was insane. And I did see a tweet that leaks on Twitter as of this stream, which is 9/20/2022. Leaks for chapter 1061 are out. And if you're watching this, this is going to air on the day the chapter released. So, warning, leaks are out. If you're watching the stream, I've been really good about avoiding leaks. And there will be a break next week. Next chapter, there will be a break week. So, usually whenever the leak says there's a break, that means it's one of those chapters. And that's following up having the past 3 chapters being one of those chapters. So I can only imagine what happens. But as far as news goes, there's not a whole lot. But we do have some of our own kind of news, because we have passed a very big milestone on the watch through of your first watch through. We are officially in post time skip, and in the first arc that has had a lot of build up and hype, Fishman Island. And keep in mind, we have been hearing about Fishman Island. The dog loves Fishman Island. We have been hearing about Fishman Island since Baratier.
Oh yeah. Since Arlong Park.
Yeah, so on the way to Arlong Park and Baratier, because Luffy drew what he thought a mermaid would look like.
For some reason, you said Baratier, but my brain said Baroque Works. And I was like, that was a weird time to choose. But I'm so tired, my brain is not connecting anything right now.
But you're officially there. What? How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
I'm having a little bit of trouble with Fishman Island. It's having a hard time holding my attention, only because arcs need to have good side characters to hold my attention, and I'm not feeling the villain. Not feeling the villain. I hate the princess. Oh my god, I hate the mermaid princess. She's so annoying. And so we just got to Jinbei. I just got a little bit of Jinbei's backstory. I don't know if it's really technically his backstory though, because it's kind of about the queen and Fisher Tiger, but that's where I'm at, and I'm really excited Jinbei's back in it because I love Jinbei very, very much. Really excited. I was most excited to see everyone's glow ups and them reuniting. And I have to say, Nami and Usopp's reunion was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so, I don't know, it was so them, and it was so fun, and I just loved it.
It was very heartwarming to see them all meet up the first time.
I
Um,
know.
but I think everything you're feeling about Fishman Island is probably pretty popular feelings. As I told you in our private conversation, I think Fishman Island is probably of the like canon One Piece arcs is probably if one of if not my least favorite arc. And that's not to say it's bad because I
Of
do
all of
still
them?
of all of them I think so. Maybe
Okay.
Long Ring Long Land is worse.
How
But
dare you?
I know you love it, but I really
Watch your mouth.
it's not that Fishman Island is bad. It's just that Hody Jones, or I think the dub
Mm-hmm.
calls him Hordy Jones.
I think it's Horty, yeah.
Yeah, he is just not a compelling villain at all. But I do think the arc really picks up from the time the flashback starts
Mm-hmm.
to the end because the final climax fight is really actually pretty cool. Um,
I mean,
so
I'm enjoying it more than I've enjoyed other arcs, but it's just
mhm.
hard to go. I was binging it so fast because, like,
It was so
Impel
good.
Down,
Oh yeah.
Sabaody, Marineford, like, you just binge it so fast, and it just feels like such like a release from the gas pedal, kind of.
Hmm.
So it's just, I don't know if it's that I'm not enjoying it. I'm just not like I'm not watching it nearly as much.
Absolutely. I mean, that's natural. Around this time, I think I was slowing down at post time skip. I really started hitting the brakes hard. Like, I think my fastest One Piece binge was probably, the fastest short time was definitely through Marineford.
Mm-hmm.
But my fastest, like, binge was from Dressrosa on, I would say. From Dressrosa on, I really hit the pedal to the metal. But around Fishman Island, I slowed down a bit, and I took a flat out break in Water 7. Because I didn't know
You
what was
took a
coming up.
break during Water
Yeah, I
7.
didn't take a break during. I took a break as soon as opening 5 started. And when I say a break, I mean like 2 weeks that I didn't watch One Piece. And it wasn't because I didn't want to. It was because I think I got into a game or something really good, and I was in
Was
love
it
with it.
Persona 5?
It was
Was it when
it
Royal
was
came
Persona
out?
5 Royal. It's
Was it when
exactly when
Royal
it
came out?
happened. It
Yeah.
was Persona 5 Royal. That is exactly one of my favorite game and my favorite show. I mean, that's exactly what it was.
I was gonna say, what would make you quit watching One Piece? And the only thing that I could think of would be Persona 5.
Persona 5 Royal is
And I know it
exactly
only took you, well, it would have taken you shorter if you weren't an idiot and had to replay it.
okay. Yeah,
Because,
well, that's a topic
but
for
that's a
another.
whole, that's a whole other,
That was
but.
okay. Who knew? Who would have thought? Who knew? That was stupid. But yeah, I think post time skip has a lot of people like pre time skip era better. I think the lows in post time skip are lower, but the highs are definitely higher. With the
You
exception of
think?
Marineford is still the best arc objectively in the
Mm-hmm.
series. Like
Yeah.
I think it's just beautifully written. But as far as like moments, post time skip, because you have moments in Dressrosa, like huge reveals in Wano, and where we're going in the story right now. Holy crap!
Well, it's also, it has so much history behind it. A lot of stuff I'm sure gets paid
Oh
off.
yeah, and like build-ups, yeah, absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
like finally, Dressrosa. Part of Dressrosa is so good is because you finally get to see Doflamingo in action. How long have you known Doflamingo without
Yeah.
actually getting to see him? Like that's really really good. So
He
Fishman,
showed up after Skypiea, right?
he did because he was messing with Bellamy. Whatever was going on there, but your feelings on Fishman Island, I think, are warranted. Hody Jones is the worst antagonist in the series.
I swear that it's, I was thinking about this because I am not a Skypiea fan at all. I watched it, but not a fan of it at all.
My top 5 arc.
And
It's in my top 5.
that's so ridiculous. And I don't really like Fishman Island so much. It's like, do I just not like humans? Like non-human
Yeah, it's
One Piece
both.
characters? Is
It's
it kind of like discriminatory?
it's both of these arcs about like, well, it's bad
Different.
enough that the arc with the Sky Peons or Sky People, but the arc about the fish people are literally the discriminated race of the series. So
I don't like the fishmen. It's just the arc itself.
a fisherman.
I am not racist.
I am not racist. Don't you dare. I love Jimbei. Jimbei.
Chai.
Arlong.
God.
Man, but like when I got into Fishman Island, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil a minor thing of what I was hoping. It's not even that big, really. I had hyped in my head that Arlong was gonna come back in that arc.
No, I think you kinda told me he didn't,
Yeah.
but, like, I feel like if he was gonna to, he
I
would've
thought he was going to make
already.
a last minute appearance and it was going to be like one of the best moments in the series because I think Arlong was just such a good villain to have that
Yeah.
early, like so unbelievably good. And then
Well, I honestly kind of expected I didn't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry,
no, you're
but
good, you're
I
good.
honestly kind of expected to see him in Impel Down,
Mm,
if
I
I
was
was gonna
waiting
see him
for it.
anywhere.
I was waiting
But,
for it.
like, you're gonna get the entirety of Baroque works, and
Yeah,
you're not gonna give me Arlong, which I get he's probably still in the East Blue, I guess, but I still don't like it.
yeah. I don't know where he is. I don't
I don't
think they
know,
ever
I
did
mean,
a.
he's in jail
I'm
somewhere.
not sure they did a cover story on him or anything either. I'm not sure where he is, but I was
If
really.
you know, please tell us
Yeah, yeah.
because
That would be
if
nice.
someone out there knows, we're
Where
really curious.
wanted Arlong, just where you be?
Where
Bounty
you at?
5 billion. Just tell us where you're at.
Where you at, boy?
Where you at? So yeah, I think your feelings towards Fishman Island are warranted. I don't think it's like I put it on the bottom of my list, but keep in mind I am an obsessed fanboy. Me saying it's on the bottom of my list means it's like a 7 out of
It's
10.
still
Like it's still, I think it's still like the worst part about it, and I want to get your take on this. The and it sucks, and I think this being the worst part makes me not like it so much. But the worst part about it is Sanji.
yes.
And Sanji is my favorite character, and he is just so stupid. And he's
It
just.
was it's like it was funny. It
But
was
they
funny,
won't
and then it
quit.
stopped being funny because it won't stop.
A
Like,
lot of.
I think they really nailed it, like,
Yeah. A lot of
we
people
get
were
it.
saying like Oda hates Sanji now because look at Fishman Island. He went from the third strongest to a gag character. He gets better in Punk Hazard, and then he has some really cool moments like at the beginning of Dressrosa. But again,
Mhm.
as you know, Whole Cake Island,
Whole
like
Cake Island.
if you ever think that he's not Oda's favorite Straw Hat besides Luffy, which I think he's come out and said it's Zoro, but I think
I was
he's
gonna say, I'm
lying.
pretty sure he said it's
I
Zoro.
think he's lying because there's no way
Shut
after
up.
after Whole Cake Island, what he did for Sanji just out of nowhere. There ain't no way, man. Sanji is. I'll say this, and we'll get to it when you get to the Whole Cake Island video, which will be great. But Sanji is the best written besides Luffy's Straw Hat, hands down. And you may not think so because of where you're at, but when you get
Mhm.
there, you will absolutely agree. He's the best written one. Maybe you could even argue he's better written than Luffy, but I don't think so because I think Luffy has so many layers that you just have to understand good writing to get.
Yeah.
But Sanji is just he's a fantastically written character.
I just think that if you're gonna create somebody who looks like Zoro and is perfect in every physical sense, then he's your favorite. He took his time drawing that man.
Yeah, but then
See, Fred agrees.
hey, Fred's favorite character is Chopper. Thank you. He's told me a lot. He loves
I know,
Chopper.
but
Hey,
he can.
hey,
He,
stop, please.
but he knows that Zoro's handsome.
He does. Hey, listen. Stop. Gosh, I'm keeping all that in. I don't even care. I think I it's weird on topic. Like I'll do 30 seconds on this, but I genuinely do think like dogs can like have a sense of regularity. That's not even a word.
That's not a word.
Like you can tell I'm getting out of the podcast mode here because I'm getting a little stupid. But dogs, I swear, I think they have a little bit of like familiarism with.
That's also not a word.
Just pretend it is with certain shows. Because like I said, that one time in games, even like that one time I played Banjo-Kazooie, he wouldn't quit staring at the screen. Like there's something about it he loved. And the same thing with One Piece. Sometimes he would watch it. But like whenever I
Honestly,
watch stuff
no.
like Black Clover and Austin's like, and Fred's like, bro, turn that off.
Turn this garbage off.
But
No,
like,
honestly, I feel you because my cat Arya, who is named after Arya Stark in Game of Thrones, will watch Game of Thrones. She's never in the living room. She never watches TV. But when the last season came out, every Sunday she watched Game of Thrones with me.
that's weird.
I know. Isn't that weird?
She's too smart. She scares me.
She's wonderful.
She's too smart. Well, do you have anything else to add onto Fishman Island?
I do not. Hopefully by next. Well, actually, I probably won't have it finished by next week because the reason we're recording on Tuesday instead of Thursday is I'm going out of town. So I probably won't have much of an update next week either. But you know what I will have? I'll have a quote.
You'll have a daggone quote. Do you have a quote right now?
I do actually.
Okay, let's do it right now then.
Okay. It's probably pretty easy because I Googled One Piece quotes. And then I Googled a specific character. Whether I kick a kitten, tear off your ears, even slaughter innocent people, the world will never cease to forgive my actions.
I don't know.
You don't know. I feel like it's kind of obvious.
Should it be? Is it a Straw Hat? No.
No.
Who is it?
One of my favorite characters.
Is it Ace?
No.
One of your favorite characters? Is it Boa Hancock?
It's Boa Hancock.
I don't remember her saying that. When did she say that?
She's because the rest of the quote is because I didn't read the last part because I would have given it away. The rest of the quote is, "Why you ask? That's right. It is because I am beautiful."
Oh, of course.
And I knew that would give it away.
That
so
would
I
have
cut it off.
That would have definitely given it away. Great character. There's nothing else to say.
Wonderful.
I actually did not. I liked Boa Hancock a lot when I first watched it. I liked her a lot, but when I rewatched Marineford with you, I grew a much deeper appreciation for her.
I love her
because I didn't
she came
realize
on the screen and just.
And then
I love her.
she got featured in the last chapter a lot, and I did not notice how like great she was, honestly, at the first time I watched. Yeah, she's fantastic. Definitely one of the best females in the series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, outside of Nami and Robin, I think it's probably Hancock and Vivi. Like, I think those are just the two that you go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're also fantastic. Yeah, Hancock's great. All right. If you're done, I think we can go ahead and segue into today's topic. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Awesome.
I'm
Who was
guessing
that?
from your dance, it's Usopp.
It's not Usopp, and
Is it?
You're not gonna get it. It's another character like, oh, oops. Sorry guys, autoplay went. It's another character that isn't a Straw Hat that gets a eye catcher for a little while. His name is Bartolomeo, and it's
That's
not
stupid.
Kuma.
Oh yeah, Bartholomew Kuma.
It's not
'Cause you went,
Bartholomew.
You went like this, and it seemed like a.
Well, once you hear
it
it,
looked
you'll
like
see
you
why.
honked at the end.
I did. Once you see it, you'll see why. Bomb, bomb. Usopp's is next. Usopp's is next. Today, kind of on topic with a little bit of what we were saying earlier, but like Arlong, we're going to be doing a saga retrospective, and we're going to keep it short because the word retrospective makes it sound like we're going to be here for hours. When in reality, we got a little over 10 minutes. Of East
You can
Blue.
do a little longer than 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, you're right. Of East Blue, that spans from Romance Dawn, the first episode, all the way to the end of Logtown, going into the Grand Line. I would say the episode that features Laboon is the first episode in the Alabasta saga. So, and what a lot of people consider to be like where One Piece actually starts on the Grand Line. The East Blue kind of serves as like a prologue. This is how the future Pirate King met his right hand, met his division commanders, I would like to call them at this point, because they're the original 5. I would imagine Luffy would have them in charge of stuff before anybody. But I wouldn't imagine Luffy would even put any thought into doing that. I think the Straw Hats
would require some forethought.
I don't think Luffy would actually have that much thought about anything. But I mean, not in terms of, obviously, if you watching the series, not in terms of the top 5 hats bounties. That's obviously not true because Nami holds the lowest bounty on the crew if you don't count Chopper. I said Chomper, but like this is just where the roots Chomper. This is where the roots of the series actually start coming and growing. That was a beautiful analogy. Well, what do you think? So this is where you started, and I know you clearly have your highs and your lows of East Blue, but I want to hear just a retrospective from Romance Dawn, which Romance Dawn is like the first few episodes with Kobe and Luffy's flashback, all the way to the end of Logtown and the epic conclusion of Luffy versus Buggy, where Buggy proved to be so powerful that Luffy had to run away from Buggy D Clown.
It's not Buggy D Clown, is it?
It's not yet, but I do think they will end up being like, you're actually Buggy D Clown, not Buggy the Clown, and then I mean, there's no way, right? Spoilers, that's not a thing yet, but it's totally gonna be a thing, right? Like it has to be. He has to be a D.
That's
He's got to be
so
a member of the D
stupid.
clan. There's no way that guy falls upwards so much. I'm not convinced he's not gonna be Pirate King. I'm not convinced. He might become Pirate King before Luffy. It might happen.
Pissed.
It might happen. But yeah. So what do you think? What do you think? Go ahead and I'll play off of you for this one.
Honestly, like I think the beginning really does a good job of like catching you. Like because I mean when we watched the first few episodes together and we watched it for a couple hours, like longer than we even like intended to. So I really like the beginning. I think it does a good job of introducing Luffy and like kind of showing, just grasping your attention, kind of. And then I like how he gets Zoro, and then Syrup Village is Syrup Village, and I feel like I've made my opinions on Syrup Village really clear. But I really got hooked during Baratier. Like, I really, really enjoyed Sanji's backstory. It was honestly my favorite until we got to Arlong Park. And honestly, if you get to Arlong Park and you don't consider yourself a fan or like enjoying One Piece, then you might as well stop because you'll never enjoy it.
Yeah, because
Arlong Park is still probably in my top 3 favorite arcs.
It is mine too. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just wonderful. I could do a whole episode about Arlong Park. I really love it so much.
And we absolutely should. I agree with most of what you said. I have a very unpopular opinion in the community that I think it's criminally underrated. I gotta be honest, like you said, and I get it. Arlong Park is definitively where it's the make it or break it moment. Obviously, I think the series is enjoyable up to there. We'll get to the whole topic of people thinking that One Piece is slow started. It doesn't get good until chapter 300. I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I think that is.
What is chapter 300?
Who knows?
Where's that at?
I don't even know. But people are always like, "Why would I watch a show that doesn't get good until episode 2000?" And people are so stupid about it. See, yeah. I thought One Piece got good on episode 1 because Luffy was cracking us up about being like with Kobe, I don't think I like you, and being like just mean to him. Being very Luffy, and we watched like 9 episodes in a row and didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And it was just funny. I mean, it's not like edgy. You're not watching Bleach where the first episode he gets stabbed by Rukia and gets her Soul Reaper powers. You're not getting that stuff. It's One Piece. It's not edgy. So like if you're going into it expecting edgy manga anime, it's never what it is. It's never what it's gonna be. So whatever. We'll get into that in a minute. But Syrup Village, I think that was the moment where I fell in love. I'm not gonna lie. Until Baratier started, Usopp was my favorite character.
That's crazy.
When I got to Syrup Village, I thought Usopp was going to be my favorite character. I loved. Oh my god, it gives me chills still thinking about how he started off so annoying and how he was like lying on the ground, bloody, unable to beat that dude, crying and screaming, "I'll never let you get to that village." And he didn't care that no one in the village believed him. He ran there and was going to die right there for them. I thought that was crazy. No one talks about that enough, I don't think. Nobody talks about how quick that character development is for Usopp. Even to this day, Usopp still has his moments where he's like cowardly, but it's almost like he snaps and just takes over. This brave soul just takes over. And when that happens for Usopp, like in Alabasta, when he gets really beat up and he's like, "Luffy will be king of the pirates," it gives me goosebumps. Like those moments for Usopp. And every time people talk about Syrup Village, they bring up the negatives about it, but no one brings up how great Usopp is written in that arc. They really don't.
I'm really not going to lie to you. I don't remember the first half of Syrup Village because I stopped watching it and took, months and months long.
A year and a half.
It was not a year.
It was over.
It that long?
It took you over a year to finish Syrup Village. It took you a very long time, and you probably people hate on the antagonist. I can't Kuria or something. I
don't even remember.
I thought he was fine.
Scissorhands.
He had a decent little plot twist set up, and it gave you you already thought he was like a douchebag, and they gave you a reason to want. I thought it was satisfying to watch him beat. I think an antagonist in One Piece is good if it's satisfying to watch Luffy beat him up. Cody Jones, I don't have that much resentment. He sucks, but it's like whatever. Like this
Yeah.
dude is like he's screwing Kaya over. That's Usopp's girl. I want this dude to get his face punched in. Luffy, have at it. And the moments are great. The worst part about the arc is Zoro's opponent being those cat brothers, but that was stupid. But Usopp's joining of the arc was great. I started not liking Usopp as the best anymore when he started doing the I'm the captain stuff after he joined. That annoyed me to death after everything Luffy had done for him. I was like, you're a douchebag. How could you even joke about that? But
see, if I watched it again, I probably would have like a different appreciation. But at the time, I really did not like Usopp. Like, I didn't really start like really liking Usopp until Water 7.
I know that you said that, and a lot. That's a kind of a popular opinion, I guess. But
like, I don't know, because I understand he's the comic relief character, and normally I am all about the comic relief characters. There's just, and like he would make me laugh, but I just wasn't enjoying his character because I didn't think it had any depth to it. And then Water 7 is really when, and it's funny because I feel like that's when a lot of people start not liking Usopp as much because of the fight with Luffy.
I don't know, because I feel like people disagree with him, but it's hard to say you don't like him as good because, I mean, it's genius writing. Like, it is just
right.
It is.
See, it just made me gain so much respect for him. So now that I am an Usopp fan, I probably would have a different appreciation of Syrup Village, but I don't think they did a good job introducing his character because I pretty much didn't like him immediately. But I think also that may have been the intention. So I can't say it's bad writing or anything because it might have been the intention.
See, and people say like it is bad. It's an unpopular opinion of mine, whatever. But see, I think it was just such a hard contrast to like the obvious shonen protagonist, the stoic swordsman, the suave cook that just fights with a really like cool style, and like the hot girl I gotta throw that one in, burglar, and then you have village wimp who lies a lot, and it's like, how does this dude fit into the crew? And that's like part of what I loved about him so much, and especially in Arlong Park when he used, I don't like post time skip Usopp as much because he has those cool plant powers. I miss the Usopp who had to use rocks and hot sauce to find a stupid way to beat somebody. The fight in Arlong Park with Usopp's one of my favorites. I love it because he just found such stupid ways to beat him. Usopp hammer, Usopp hammer, Usopp hammer. Like, that stuff is great.
That was funny.
That stuff is so good, and I didn't mean to go off about Usopp for so much, and I honestly didn't even plan to, but I think Syrup Village is great. I really do.
Let's talk about Baratier, because I don't think it gets talked about enough. Like, I really enjoyed the side characters, like the little cooks, and like Luffy being their chore boy. Like, it was fun, and then it just slaps you in the face with one of the most depressing episodes of all time.
Oh my God.
Which is him on the island starving with that guy. What's his name?
Zeph.
Will you help me?
Redfoot Zeph.
Will you help me?
I saw something earlier, one of those TikTok trends that were like, what is the best anime duo, best father-son relationship?
Yeah,
and it's Sanji and Zeph, 1,000%. Like,
I agree.
They're always like, you damn brat, and at the end when he says bye and Sanji just can't help himself and turns around, and I cry every time. I was just about to say every time.
I was just about to say another reason I liked it so much is like I didn't feel any kind of sentiment for like Usopp leaving Kaya, or like I did a little bit for Nami leaving Arlong Park, but like you feel it when Sanji leaves the Baratier. Like, it is so emotionally driving, and I just love arcs that even when they're short, they make you care so much about characters that aren't like main characters.
Yes.
Like, you care a lot about a side character that you've known for 10 episodes. And I think Baratier does that so well. I know it's not 10 episodes,
so
but
good.
in the long scheme of things of One Piece arcs, it is a short arc.
So I do think that Baratier is probably, of those arcs, my second favorite.
Yeah.
Because, Sanji's my favorite character. I never include Luffy in that. I think if you're a true One Piece fan, you kind of can't include Luffy in your favorite character list. because it's just like he's a different tier.
He is your
But
favorite character.
he always, if Luffy's not your
He's your
favorite
favorite
character,
character.
yeah, if Luffy's not your favorite character, he's the one you love the most for sure. But Sanji's my favorite character. I just think Sanji's hilarious. I like old Sanji. I like the less pervy Sanji and the more gentleman-like Sanji. I like that red, but he gets way too pervy in post time skip sometimes for me. But his fighting style is great. Meeting him there and seeing it's so one of my favorite scenes in this series, hands down, bar none, is how Sanji is acting so cold and he brings Gin some food, and then Luffy goes out there to talk to him about, you're gonna join my crew, and he's like, what? No, who are you? And Sanji's so cold and like, get out of my face. And he mentions the all blue, and then Luffy's like, what's the all blue? And then he just goes from mad to his eyes open up, and he, like you said, he has the most infectious smile in the series. It's like so innocent. It's so innocent and childlike, and he gets that smile as he talks about the all blue, and you can tell it's like truly his favorite thing. And then the fact that Zeph's dream is the all blue as well, like, it's insane. It's insane how, like, that is
honestly, one of my favorite things about Sanji is, like, this when he gets excited or something, his childlike smile. Like, it's cheeky. It's just a cheeky little smile.
So it warms your heart.
So happy.
It makes me smile every time. Like, and that was the first arc I ever did my no, it was actually Arlong Park, but I'll get into that in a minute. The worst thing about Baratie is Don Creed, though. I don't think he's memorable.
Yeah.
In fact,
But they made such a big deal about him.
They did. They made like he was the biggest deal. His ship was huge. He went to the Grand Line, but he sucked. I wouldn't go as far as to say he's the worst antagonist.
Why'd you go to the Grand Line and then come back to the East Blue?
Because also, Mihawk destroyed everything.
I was just about to bring up, because it's been so long since I've watched it, why the hell was Mihawk there?
Because he was chasing Don Creed to finish what he started.
He doesn't have anything better to do than chase Don Creed to the East Blue.
It just got revealed.
Doesn't he have warlord thing to do?
Well, I guess that's his warlord thing to do, because the world government's a little too scared to give him orders. But it just got revealed in the series. But before Mihawk was a warlord, he was known as the Navy Killer or the Navy Hunter or something. Like, he never had a crew. He's always been a one-man pirate crew that just sailed around like that and just hunted random Marines and Navy people. And they're like, please just work for us. So now he just does it to pirates.
That almost makes me not like him, because it's kind of just like he's a sellout. You're going to go from hunting Marines to working for them?
See, I don't want to speak so definitively on that, because they don't say why he becomes a warlord specifically, but I think that would be why. But it does seem a little weird for him to do that. But, I think he lost a lot of passion because him and Shanks used to be like sparring match partners and both the greatest swordsmen in the world. And then Shanks lost his arm, and Mihawk grew depression because his sparring buddy couldn't spar anymore. He didn't have an arm.
Couldn't spar his arm anymore.
He couldn't do it no more. So
couldn't do it no more.
You couldn't daggone do it. So I guess he went crazy and snapped. But yeah, you can't talk about Baratie without talking about what is probably every Zoro's fan's second. Nothing happened.
Oh wait, I got a quote.
Yes.
The marks on a back are a swordsman's shame.
It's so good. Other than nothing happened, the first meeting of Zoro and Mihawk has to be one of the best Zoro moments.
So good.
Because
and then he, like, when he's laying on the ship and he raises his sword. Oh, so
because
good.
You think about when
just out of nowhere, just a Zoro moment, and that's what he does. I feel like it'll be a normal arc, and then bam.
Exactly.
Really badass Zoro
and that's what's so good about it. Like, you start with the beginning when you meet Zoro, and he's kind of sketchy. He's a bounty hunter, and he tells Luffy, he's like, I'll cut you down the second you get in the way of my dream. He tells Luffy, I will join your crew, but I, first and foremost, am going to be the world's strongest swordsman. When he met the world's strongest swordsman, it was like Zoro was really skilled and everything, but it was a shock and an eye-opener to see truly how big the gap was between the two. And then Zoro, that was Zoro's turning moment, saying, I've got stuff training to do. I no longer can put this above my captain. And then just think about that moment, his declaration, you'll be king of the pirates, going all the way to nothing happened, him willing to throw his life away, his dream away, just so Luffy can live. There's no better loyalty in anime. It's the best.
He's wonderful.
It's not only the best Zoro moment, but it's probably the best moment in One Piece.
It's definitely one of them for sure.
And Sanji, people don't talk about it. He was just as willing to do it because he tried to as well. But Sanji was way more beat up than Zoro, and he was just like, and Sanji.
Well, I mean, Zoro is just objectively stronger than Sanji. Like,
see, be careful saying that. You'll fire up some arguments because people argue about that a lot. Well, I think you're still right. Like, I think Sanji's a better character, but Zoro's a little cracked. Like, he's just built different.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's objective. I don't know if Sanji would have lived through what Zoro lived through.
I don't think so either. I think Oda made a joke, and people call it canon. I know this isn't East Blue, but Oda made a joke that Zoro did die and nothing happened. And his ghost got lost and came back to his body.
That honestly is kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
I kind of want that to be canon.
And be like his soul got lost on the way to hell or heaven or whatever Zoro would go to.
Hell.
Probably to hell.
Definitely went to hell.
And then came back up into his body. But that first great Zoro moment happened. And then we set sail to what is probably the best arc until, like, Enies Lobby. Actually, that's a definite. Like, until Enies Lobby.
That's a definite.
Arlong Park. So I have moments where I'm in tears because something is so epic in One Piece. And I call it my Luffy moments. Where Luffy does something, I'm going, just go, Luffy! Like a character in the show. My first moment was when he put that straw hat on Nami's head. It kills me. It's the best moment ever.
I see it on TikTok a lot, and I watch it every time I see it.
It's insane.
It made Nami, like, so Zoro is my favorite character. I love Zoro. But Nami skyrocketed at Arlong Park. Like, not only did it explained all of, like, everything about her. It explained her intentions. It explained, like, why she is less willing to join the crew and why she's not as trusting of people. Like, totally explained everything that you may have not liked about her at first. But her, like, stabbing her tattoo was just, like...
It was mindfucky.
Oh, my God. And then her just, like, saying she doesn't want friends or whatever and, like, to go away, this isn't their problem. And then to just look at Luffy and say, help me.
Because she broke down. She just couldn't help it. It makes me...
every time.
I'm starting to tear up right now. It's, like, genuinely...
It's very...
So good.
It really is very parallel to Robin and Enies Lobby. Like, it's a very paralleled kind of moment.
The Robin moment. Oh my God.
I
don't think I've ever been able to watch that scene and not cry. I really don't. I sound so girly right now, but I've watched One Piece. If you've watched One Piece, you do the same thing. But the fight against Arlong was the first truly satisfying fight in the series.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Truly, and especially the way he beat him in that room where she was, like, basically enslaved. And he not only beat Arlong, but destroyed the entire building.
All the
so
maps.
she would never have to be there again. See, the thing...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You first.
Oh, no. I was just going to say how her maps are, like, flying out. So he doesn't even get to reap the benefits of, like, the work that Nami did for him for so long.
He doesn't care. It's just like when he turned down the map of the Grand Line Zeph was going to give him. Of where Zeph had been on. He doesn't care. And it's just like... As soon as they got on the island, Luffy went, nope, don't care, and just did not care about Nami's backstory, did not care about why she abandoned the crew. He just walked around and popped up again when she needed him. He does not care about Nami's reasonings. He only cares when Nami wants his help, and that she's his friend, and that he's going to help her when she needs his help. That's the definition of a friend. I don't care for your reason, but I'm going to help you when you want it. You need it.
They flash back to a lot of Arlong Park in pre-time skip when Nami was on the weather Sky Island, and she found out about Ace's death. And they flashbacked a lot to him saying, like, you'll always be my friend, and, like, all that, and it just makes they're one of my favorite dynamics.
God, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think they see. I'm. Listen, I know there shouldn't be any romance in One Piece, and I kind of am. I never want romance.
I want to do a
But
whole episode on ships.
we will do an episode. I'm of the opinion, spoiler alert, that I don't think any Straw Hats should get together. But if they
Well,
did, I would have to be Nami and Luffy. I'm just saying. Just saying.
I don't agree with that, but I respect your opinion.
I don't. It's just how the story is.
I don't think. Well, I'm gonna save that for the ship episode because I do want to do an episode about ships because
you are definitely a Hancock Luffy kind of girl. There ain't no way you're not. There's no way. People want them to get married and have Boofy so we can have One Piece 2. We have 2 Piece.
Boa is too much woman to be tied down.
Oh, she wants to be tied down by Luffy. That's all she wants. It's her dream.
She's too much woman. She's too much woman.
But we'll save that for later. And then Arlong Park. Any more thoughts? I mean, it's just I don't think it's one of the best arcs.
It's great. It's wonderful.
And truly, if you've never watched One Piece, if you get to Arlong Park, that's the make it or break it moment. See, all this crap you hear on Twitter about it not getting good until episode 100 is not true. Arlong Park is around episode 40, 30, and it even gets
probably
good.
40 or 50.
Yeah, and it gets good before then. Like, in my opinion, it gets good when you meet Zoro, which is like episode 3. Yeah. Buggy is a fun villain who is reoccurring. Seer Village is underrated. Baratier has one of the most tragic backstories in anime. And then Arlong Park is just like a definition One Piece arc. It gets you, if you don't like it, that's fine. Obviously, I don't know why you're listening to the show, but if you don't like it, you're not a One Piece fan, and it's not for everybody, I guess.
All right. I just think Arlong Park is the first time you see them as a crew.
Yes.
Like, you're getting individual pieces for your crew, and like you're focusing on those individual pieces, but I feel like the walk to Arlong Park is the first time you see the Straw Hats as what they will be. You know what I mean?
The walk to Arlong Park, I think of a meme. You remember that Vine? The guy's giving out gum. They go, "What the dog doing?"
No.
So this guy's giving out gum to his friends, and a bunch of hands start going in, and a paw goes in, and the guy goes, "What that dog doing?"
Oh, yeah.
And so every time I see that, I see Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, and Usopp. Look at Usopp. It's like, "What that dog doing?" Like, Buddy thinks he's part of the club, and he instantly hides when he gets there. It's so fun. But that leads us into the finale of East Blue. We're skipping the Dragon arc, which you actually did skip.
I skipped it.
Because it's not canon, it's filler. And right into Logtown, the death place of Gold D. Roger and almost Luffy. I thought it was too short. And there should have been more.
I agree.
And Smoker was a very cool villain. And I'm actually really glad Luffy and Smoker didn't fight. And I'm glad Smoker seemed like an impossible. Because I didn't want Luffy to just be able to beat everyone he came across. Like, the fact that Smoker was so impossible for him to beat showed that, hey, we got a lot of room to grow here. And we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to grow.
Well, I think it kind of helped, too, that it made Crocodile, like, his first... Because, I mean, Smoker and Crocodile both have Logia Devil Fruits. So,
yes.
I feel like, I know, as I learned from last episode, when I learned what these words mean. But I feel like it made the Crocodile fight more challenging because he never did fight Smoker.
Yes.
So it was because it kind of would have been also like two of the same kind of villains back to back, which can get kind of like tedious.
Absolutely. But it also makes a reason for Smoker to actually be reintroduced a lot, which is cool. Actually, next arc you get to see Smoker a lot. He is in the entire next arc, and it's actually really.
Oh my
funny.
God, is his glow up like? I'm really excited. Does he change a lot for the time skip? Does he get even sexier?
Well, I mean, I guess so. He in that arc, okay.
I'm gonna look it up.
You're gonna see in the arc, but he's not actually like. I did this like I was blushing, but I'm trying to avoid telling you a spoiler. I promise. Okay. But you'll see. He's not himself that arc a lot. I'll say that.
Okay.
It's really funny, but he comes back.
Oh.
Smokey, good old Smokey.
Daddy.
So he comes back soon, He's a great villain. And then you've got the first appearance of Monkey D. Dragon, and you don't figure it
I
out
know.
for
For
a
a very
long.
long
But
time.
in that episode, if you go back, he says, "Luffy, a pirate, huh? Well, I guess that'll do." Didn't even know what Luffy was gonna do. He didn't even know he was a pirate.
I know this is just for you, but like
And the YouTube.
you can't see it. Oh
Yeah,
my god, look at him.
yeah, that is from Punkhazard too. Yeah,
Now I just messed up my camera, but I had to show you the
yeah,
picture of Smoker.
yeah. Smoker's badass, man. I like Smoker. But and, you know, you got Buggy also being funny. Alvita is back for no reason.
I don't like Alvita.
I don't either. I don't like Alvita, but Buggy's a great villain. Buggy's
Do
just
you
a great
remember
character.
when we watched One Piece and Alvita came on the screen and you went, "Hey, that's you."
No, you said, "Why am I in this show?"
Oh yeah.
And I laughed hysterically. You went, "Why am I in this show?" But there's not much. I do think Logtown is a little bit. I think it might be my least favorite arc of East Blue.
Your least favorite?
Yeah. Well, it's either that or Orangetown, which we skipped
Skipped. Oh yeah.
with a Buggy
I thought
arc.
you meant. I was like, no, we watched Orangetown.
So, like, yeah, we watched it, but we skipped it in this episode. The Buggy Balls
Yeah.
were cool. Buggy's a great villain, but it was short and it was weird. Actually, it's
But
not
it was
bad.
short and it was weird.
It's not bad because I think Buggy's actually the perfect first antagonist. Actually, it was technically Axe Hand Morgan, but he was in like 2 episodes, so I don't count him. But Buggy was the perfect first pirate villain for Luffy. Like, he's the perfectly showcases.
He's pretty much Luffy as a villain.
Yes, and he showcases what you're gonna get from One Piece. You're not gonna get these big yar pirates. He's literally a clown. It's One Piece. It's stupid. It's supposed to be stupid. So it's like, ooh,
Sorry, my camera's really
yeah.
my camera's really unfocused, and I was trying to like get it to focus,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's going to.
So I thought Orangetown was great, but Logtown, it was just felt too short for how important the town feels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Like, it's the death place of Goldie Roger. It does have that really cool moment when he meets that bartender that saw Roger right before he set sail. That was a really cool moment. But
I just think it introduced a lot of really like cool characters.
It did. I mean, Smoker's great, and Tashigi, I'm still convinced is
Zoro's
Zoro's friend.
Yeah.
I'm still convinced she didn't actually die, and she has amnesia, and that's her. I'm 1,000%
it looks
convinced.
just like her.
And that would explain why she has amnesia and is all of a sudden a very bad swordsman compared to Zoro. And if she ever like
But
snaps
she loves
in,
swords.
like, imagine the day that Zoro beats Mihawk and her amnesia snaps out, and she comes back and beats Zoro, who's the world's greatest swordsman, and she takes it over from him. That people would
I'll
hate
be
that.
pissed.
People would
I'll
hate
be
that.
pissed.
People would hate. But imagine that happening though, but Zoro doesn't lose, but that being Zoro's final opponent in a platonic way, like in a sparring kind of way. That would be awesome. And seeing
cool.
post time skip Zoro cry would feel really good. Out of one eye, out of his one open eye.
You're right. They literally don't mention it.
They never do.
They see him for the first time, and no one is like, "What happened to your eye?"
Open your eye. What are you?
No, one person says anything about it.
So a little off topic, but I thought really, really bad. I was like, why didn't they just give him an eye patch? It's a pirate show. That would have looked awesome if Zoro had an eye patch the whole time. But Oda recently actually said there's a reason no one's wearing an eye patch. There is a very important reason. He's like, it's a pirate cliche I wanted to avoid for a long time, but there's a reason he doesn't have an eye patch, which makes me think the series will end with a character starting the trend of wearing an eye patch, and I think Luffy will be having an eye patch on by the end of the series. I think Luffy will have an eye patch. Yar. I think that'll happen. Maybe he'll lose his eye in the final battle. Maybe Blackbeard will take it.
Fuck Blackbeard.
You have no idea. Dude, you have no idea.
I hate that motherfucker.
There's so much more you don't know. You're going to hate him so much more. But that's East Blue. Do you have any final thoughts?
I don't. But I will say that in the grand scheme of the sagas, East Blue is still one of my favorite sagas.
Hmm.
I like East Blue definitely more than Skypiea. Probably equal to Alabasta,
Hmm.
honestly.
It's fantastic. It's so, to people who say One Piece doesn't get good until blah 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 episode, East Blue is ranked up there with sagas. Like, I would probably tie it with Alabasta too. It's not better than the Enies Lobby saga than Water 7. It's not better than that. It's better than Thriller Bark, I would say.
I agree.
Although I love Thriller Bark, nothing is better than the Paramount War saga. Nothing in fiction is better than the Paramount War saga. It's perfect. Pawn Clay.
Is that Marineford and
Impel Down?
I didn't know that's what it was called.
And the flashback. Well, Paramount War, whatever they call the war. They call the war so many different things. Bon Clay's an angel. And then you got like...
Bon Clay is an angel.
You got like... What do they call the saga? I guess you could kind of clump Fishman Island into that saga, maybe. I don't know. And then you got like Dressrosa saga, and then the Four Warlord saga, or the Four Emperor saga, which is freaking long. But which I getting into the weeds. East Blue's great. Watch the show if you've not watched it. It's fantastic. It's very good. If you've not watched it, sorry for the spoilers. First of all.
Also, why are you listening to this?
That's a very good question as well. It's fantastic.
Unless you just think we're funny.
Hey, if you think we're
entertaining.
If you think the bickering is good, there's another show you can watch called Sibling Gibberish, where we talk about top 5 lists and argue about stuff that doesn't have to do with One Piece, even though we always make One Piece references, it seems.
Always, at least one.
Who couldn't?
And sometimes we play games.
We sometimes play games. Sibling Gibberish is awesome. But I think that's all of my thoughts on East Blue. I do think it's underrated in the grand scheme of things. I think it's very consistent. And I want to do like a whole TikTok or something about Syrup Village. Honestly, I want to share my thoughts because I feel like I have a lot of views on Syrup Village that no one shares with me. And now that I've never realized that until this episode. Like,
yeah, because
honestly,
I definitely don't share your views.
I think you need to rewatch it. It's literally like 9 episodes.
I'd rather not.
It's like nothing. It's so short. But I think that's it. Are you done?
I am. Where can they find you?
They can find me at Soloist TV on anywhere. Or Soloist TV, Soloist_TV, and Soloist on YouTube, where I upload MMO content. That's my new niche. Mostly World of Warcraft. If you like One Piece versions of my stuff, though, my TikTok, Soloist TV, is entirely One Piece and anime themed. I say anime themed because I'll probably end up making some Bleach TikToks because Bleach hype. Oh my God, it's back. I get to watch a new episode of Bleach next month. It's been 10 years. I don't know exactly how long it's been.
I mean, it's not been 10 years for you.
It's not been for me.
It's only been a couple of months.
It's only been a few months for me, true, but like it's insane. There's gonna be a new episode of Bleach. That's unreal. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. You'll be seeing stuff, and I love Black Clover now too. So you'll see a lot of stuff on that. What about you?
You could follow me at Suriname on pretty much anything. I think Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. My TikTok is just when I randomly decide to post one every 6 months. And then you could follow our actual podcast at Binks' Brew Pod on Twitter, Binks' Brew Broadcasting on YouTube, and anywhere you get your podcast. You can also join our Discord. The link to that is on our YouTube channel and on our Twitter page if you want to discuss anything One Piece with us.
I think we can start putting it in
topic ideas.
I think we can start putting it in the description of like Spotify and stuff too.
I did last week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I did last week. But yeah, suggest topic ideas, talk about the new manga chapter. Just say hey.
Come say hey. Let's talk about One Piece.
Just say hey.
Just keep spoilers in the manga chat spoilers page, please, because there's stuff she cannot get spoiled on. She cannot find out that Blackbeard is Luffy's brother.
That's not true.
Because he ate the Ace fruit.
I hate you.
That's stupid.
That was so stupid.
All right, are you ready?
I am ready.
I had a really good time this episode, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a good time.
I thought it was great. It's so fun to do it. What do you think, Luffy? What do you think about what's your dream?
Do you know there's an awesome treasure hidden at the end of the sea? And anyone who finds it will be king of the pirates.
King?
Is that exciting or what? There are incredible adventures out there just waiting for us.
Bon voyage!